fast that we're shooting ourselves in the foot just to help out a small section of people that don't have health care or not happy about it. So I encourage all the politicians, take your time, don't jump into it. I mean, the program doesn't start for another 3 years. So why we have to make a decision this week, next week? Why would, they tried to do it Christmas Eve when they knew no one was going to be paying attention, when it's a slow news day. And it's that kind of dishonesty that we have to, as a country, we have to hold all of our politicians accountable. In Nebraska, I had people calling on my radio show that were saying they were dissatisfied that their senator was basically the one that took the payoff, the bribe. If in any other walk of life, or any other business, if I called you and said, look, I need you to pass this bill for me, I've got a $100,000 check for you, and he accepts it, that's a bribe. But because it was in a bill, it was okay. I mean, it's essentially, he was against it until you gave him $300 million for his state, which again leaves the rest of us all in the dark. And again, that's what we have to focus on now. We have to focus on the people that are being honest with the people and the people that aren't. We need to find people that are going to be honest with people and look you in the eye and tell you there's going to be some things that we don't want to hear. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. But I'd rather you tell me about it than you lie to me about it and then make something that it wasn't in the first place. If you know that you're going to have overages on a certain bill, just say it now. Prepare us for that so that there's no surprises, because this is what's happening now. When the president said that he was going to be elected, it would be the end of special interests. Well, lo and behold, within, last week there was the idea that they were going to make the UAW, union workers, were going to have to pay this tax to pay for the health care bill. Well, Richard Trumke did not like that idea, and he immediately went up there and got it changed within 24 hours, meaning that certain people have enough pull to make a difference. We have to make sure our people's union, because that's all we have. If you don't work for the unions, this is where it starts, and this is where we have to make a move to where people can listen to us and where we have a voice. That's what my radio show is about. It's not necessarily that I'm getting on there just jumping on one person. It's more about giving everyone an opportunity to voice their opinion. Some people are going to agree with me, some people are not. You have to learn how to work with these people to get our goals accomplished. I mean, right now, a lot of people we're willing to sit. The game of politics is messing up our whole country. There's people on both sides that are willing to wait and do nothing, and we're all twisting in the middle as the American people. We have to hold our leaders to a higher standard than just celebrities and people that can say something and do something totally different once they become in position of power. The fact that today is Martin Luther King's birthday, I drew a lot of significance in that, because he will want me to be able to give a speech anywhere. He would want people to accept me, just like how we accept people for who they are. But what we can't do is allow people to lie to us. Do you agree with that? I mean, you cannot allow people to lie to us. Socialism has been a big issue of what the direction of where people are kind of worried that's where we're headed. That's part of it, but a bigger part of it is just it's not common sense. There's no common sense in government right now, and that's what there's no common sense to some of the spending that's going on out here, and you really do have to do your homework. You have to vigilance. You have to call in to your leaders and let them know what we have, whatever your issues are. You have to make the people accountable, and I think that's the biggest message is that this is what it starts with. These kind of grassroots organizations. It could be 10 people, it could be 20, it could be 50, 100. The point is that we're all moving in the same direction, trying to get a better country. This is what we want to do. Just again, you have to be vigilant. You can't sit on the sidelines. Being mad is almost like a wasted energy at this point, and that's something else I want. In the beginning of the Tea Parties, this summer, I noticed a lot more of anger. People were just showing up. We have to be methodical in our approach to getting things done. We talked about earlier of making it more organized, and so it's not just you know, they don't see us on a stair yelling and screaming, but also coming in and giving them ideas and showing and giving them, you know, that's all we can do at this point is give them ideas and start looking for candidates that can relate to what people, all of us, not just, you know, everyone. What are we looking for and what is the direction? Everyone wants smaller government. Well, how do we accomplish that? You know, what are the things that we can do? What are some of the things we can cut out on? And we need to find people that aren't in cahoots with each other, just want to spend all our money. Because right now the line is blurry on Democrats and Republicans and who's who, because everyone's spending. So I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna get in my notes just a little bit because I had some things I really, in particular, wanted to touch on. But I mean, we really need to not let the media distract us. I heard Harry Reid. One of my favorites. He's got another 6-7 months for him. But Harry Reid compared the bill. He compared the bill to voting on slavery. That's how serious he compared the bill to. That is a distraction to the issues at hand. Those two things is no way that you can compare the significance of those two issues, other than the fact that at this point that could seriously bankrupt this country. It's a serious issue, but again, that's to spark anger amongst people. We're all Americans. If I cut my wrist, you cut your wrist. We're all going to bleed the same color. We have to stop letting that become a issue with people and within the media alone. We need to just stick with the issues. What can we do to get better? And I just hope that, again, I hope that's the message that we need to spread to people. When I'm doing my show, people are constantly calling in just saying, I'm just frustrated. I'm frustrated with the way things are going. I don't feel like our country is as good as it was 20, 30, 40 years ago. Well, it's not that it can't be good. We just have to all, you know, there was more activism years ago, and there was more people getting involved. We need that again. For my age group, that's kind of like what the goal of my show is kind of like reaching out to people, younger people, because the older people care. There's no question about it. You guys care. You care about not only for yourself, but for your kids and your grandkids. And again, that's the same reason I got involved, was to protect the future of my children and for my grandchildren. I'm 33 years old. I'm not thinking about grandkids right now, but I want them to grow up in the same great country that I've grown up in. The opportunities, I want some of them to be there. As far as from a statewide level, we want to figure out ways to, you know, bring in jobs and these kind of things. But we got to unleash the shackles. We got to stop taxing everybody. I mean, who wants to come in Michigan right now and we have a business tax that singles out? I mean, in other states they don't have that at all. I mean, we have other issues. You know, you got to work with unions and that kind of thing. But overall, we have to pick people that are looking out for the best interests for the people, not just businesses. Businesses only play a small part in what we're trying to do as a country. We need the businesses for work, but these politicians, they need us to get a job. And that's where it starts. We elect them. They don't elect us. They do what we elect them to do. And it's time that they start acting that way. We're the trustees, and we elect them to make the decisions for us. And it's time to start looking at it that way. We need to make them realize that also it's our money that's being spent. It's not just a budget number. It's actually, you know, if you're self-employed, you have to cut a check to the IRS. So it's not like when you're at a job and you're just getting some money pulled out of your account. When you're self-employed, you usually have to cut a check to the IRS, so you know where your money is going, and then when you see it get wasted, it frustrates you. Mm-hmm. It does. So I had some quotes and things that I really, like I said, I'm motivated by the fact this is where it all starts, in smaller meetings like this, reaching out to people. If everyone in this room reaches out to 5 people for the next meeting, we'll have a large meeting, and that's where grassroots type organizations, and this is the way it starts and the way it progresses. So I really do, again, I thank you for calling me up here to talk to everybody. I appreciate you for listening to me. See something else here. Again, I've covered a lot of different things as far as accountability, our liberty. I mean, we want to maintain our liberty. The idea that if we don't pay health care, we could go to jail. That's actually part of the rules right now. If I'm self-employed, and I pay a premium every month. If I can't afford that payment, so would I go to jail now if I don't make the payment?